Tomodachi Game, Chapter 25. Welcome to the core the moment they stepped out of the van. It hit them, not just the cold, but the silence. It wasn't natural silence, not the kind you feel on a snowy mountain or a quiet night. This was manufactured, controlled, like the world around them had been intentionally muted. No wind, no birds, no breath, just the mechanical hum of the facility in front of them. Towering concrete, sharp metal walls, red surveillance lights blinking like eyes that never sleep. They had arrived, not at a prison, not at a game center, but at the core. This was where it really began. The facility as they walked forward, the massive gate shut behind them with a loud, final clang, like a judge's gavel slamming down. Yuutori flinched. Makoto looked over his shoulder, but there was no way back now. Tenji whispered, "This place doesn't feel like the others." Kei nodded, almost to himself, because this is where the people who can't be broken get broken anyway. Yuichi said nothing. His eyes locked on the structure ahead. His footsteps never slowed. He had to see what was waiting inside. Rival room, they were led into a massive white chamber. Sterile, clinical, like a hospital that had been drained of humanity. There were no guards inside, just a row of chairs and a giant screen on the wall. For a moment, it felt like they were alone. Then, the screen lit up, and the voice they hadn't heard in days came back to life. That eerie, echoing tone of Manabu-kun, distorted through speakers. "Congratulations, remaining players. You've reached the Tomodachi Game core facility. Welcome to the final stages." A beat. From this point forward, you are being watched 24/7. Every move, every word, every thought will be evaluated. New rules. The screen changed. Text began scrolling across it. A new set of rules, longer than before, harsher. There would be no elimination by vote. There would be no rest days. Games would be psychological and physical. And most chilling of all, the value of your friendships will now be measured in currency. Makoto blinked. Wait, currency? Tenji read ahead, his voice shaky. "Each of us is worth a number now, and our trust can be bought or sold." Yuichi leaned forward, eyes narrowing. They've turned friendship into a commodity. The room assignment, a door slid open. A man in a black mask, face fully covered, voice modulated, stepped in holding a tablet. "You'll be split into pairs. Each pair shares a room, but competes separately. You may sabotage, manipulate, or support each other. That's up to you." He handed the tablet to Yuichi. "Your room partners have already been decided." The screen displayed Yuichi with Tenji Shio, with Makoto Yuutori, with Kei. Everyone looked around. No one looked happy, but no one objected either, because this wasn't about comfort anymore. It was about survival. Yuichi and Tenji's room, their quarters were cold and minimalist. 2 beds, 1 camera in the corner, and a red button on the wall labeled "Report." "Your partner." Tenji stared at it like it was radioactive. "They want us to turn on each other." Yuichi nodded slowly. "Of course they do, but they also want us to think we shouldn't." He walked over to the button and smirked. "It's probably useful in ways they won't tell us." Which means, elsewhere in the facility, Kei sat silently across from Yuutori, who looked visibly uncomfortable. He spoke first. "You're afraid of me, aren't you?" Yuutori hesitated. "I don't know." Kei nodded, looking at the ceiling camera. "Good answer." New game announcement at 9 p.m. sharp. An alarm rang. Everyone was summoned to the game hall, a black circular chamber where the floor glowed with white lines and the walls shifted like LCD screens. The voice returned. "Wins an advantage in the next round. Your next challenge is a friend auction. Each of you will be secretly appraised. Others may bid money to buy your loyalty. The player with the highest value." Everyone froze. Shio whispered, "They're going to sell us." Yuichi's jaw tightened. Loyalty is currency. And betrayal? That's just part of the rules. In Chapter 26, the bidding war begins. But some bonds might be too costly to fate. No one moved. No one even breathed. The walls around them shimmered with digital light. forming a glowing circle of shifting numbers and names. It looked like a stock exchange, except here, the stocks weren't companies. They were people. No, they're going to force us to put a price on each other. End of chapter 25 in this game. Your heart has a price. Tomodachi Game. Chapter 26. The friend auction begins. The person with the highest total bid will win a powerful advantage in the next stage. But beware, those who receive no bids at all will face a penalty. The air inside the game hall felt heavier than steel. The rules were simple, but the consequences, anything but. Manabu's voice echoed through the chamber, robotic yet gleeful, like a child opening a toy box filled with knives. Each of you has been assigned a base value based on past behavior, leadership, trustworthiness, and betrayal. He paused for dramatic effect. You will now bid anonymously on one another. Tenji's fingers curled. Makoto muttered, "This is insane." Shio looked around, eyes darting. Kei, he just smirked, already one step ahead. But Yuichi remained completely still, because he knew this wasn't just a game about money. It was a test to see who still believed in each other, and who was ready to sell their friends for an edge. The auction interface, everyone was handed a sleek black tablet. One by one, the names appeared on the screen, each paired with a value range. Yuuichi Katagiri, 300,000 yuan, 700,000 yuan. Shiho Sawaragi, 200,000 yuan, 600,000 yuan. Tenji Mikasa, 100 yuan. 500,000 yuan. Makoto Shibe, 100,000 yuan. 400,000 yuan. Yutori Kakorji, 50 yuan. 300,000 yuan. Kei Shinomiya. Unknown, yes. Unknown. His value was left blank. That alone made everyone shift in their seats. Tenji whispered, "Why hide his value?" Yuichi stared at the screen. "Because he's not part of the test. He is the test." The first bid, the timer began. 059, 058, 057. It was a silent war now. Fingers hovered over screens. Calculations fired off in their heads. Who could be trusted? Who was worth saving? Who was worth sacrificing? Makoto stared at Shio's name, then hesitated. Tenji hovered over Yuichi's profile, but stopped himself. And Yuichi? He didn't bid at all. He just watched, because he wasn't here to win. He was here to see who would break first. Midway results. When the first round ended, the room dimmed, and the results flashed across the screen. Only partial values, not full rankings. Shio, Yutori, Makoto, Tenji, Yuichi. Silence. Everyone looked at Yuichi. Makoto stepped forward, confused. "You didn't get any bids." Yuichi didn't react, but his eyes said it all. "No one trusts me anymore." "Good." "Why zero means power," the voice returned. "Yuichi Katagiri has received 0 bids, and will now face a penalty." Shio flinched. Yutori whispered, "No," publicly. "His penalty? He must reveal a secret." That's when Yuichi smiled, just barely. "I was hoping you'd do that." He stepped forward, raised his head toward the camera, and calmly said, "When I was 13, I watched a man die, and I didn't stop it, because I was curious." The room went cold. Tenji took a step back. Yutori covered her mouth. Makoto stared in disbelief. But Yuichi, he didn't flinch. That curiosity has never gone away. Kei's game. Now it was Kei's turn to speak. He finally addressed the others, stepping toward the center of the circle. "You all think you're players, but you're still playing by their rules." He held up his own tablet and it flashed a different screen. A back-end control interface. "I was never a participant in this auction. I was the auctioneer." Everyone froze. The voice confirmed. Kei Shinomiya has acted as overseer of this trial. His bids influenced the final outcome. Makoto yelled, "What does that even mean?" Kei turned to Yuichi, calm as ice. "It means I paid 620,000 yuan for her." He pointed at Shio. "Because she is the only one left who still pretends this game hasn't changed her." The twist, the lights flickered. New text appeared on screen. Advantage winner. Shio Sawaragi, penalty player. Yuichi Katagiri. The game had made its statement. The girl with the cleanest mask had won, and the boy with no loyalty was punished. But as the others began to leave the chamber, Yuuichi stayed behind. He walked up to the center, looked right into the camera, and said quietly, "And me? I'm the virus in the system." The countdown begins outside. A new alert was triggered. Next game begins in 12 hours. Everyone tensed. No rules yet. No setup. Just that one warning. But that was enough to crack nerves. Makoto grabbed his jacket. "I need to get out." Think Yutori followed. "I'll go with you." Kei watched them leave, then leaned toward Tenji. "You feel it, don't you? This next game, it's not going to test what we do." Tenji nodded, eyes distant. "It's going to test who we are when no one's watching." The camera feed, secret reveal somewhere deep within the facility, behind multiple locked doors. A single operator monitored the feeds. They zoomed in on Yuichi's cell. He was still sitting, still smiling, but on the wall behind him, unnoticed by the guards, was a series of numbers and arrows drawn in dust and sweat. Coordinates, triggers, psychological patterns. The operator leaned forward. "He's mapping the facility," and just beneath the screen, a new file flashed. Subject, Yuuichi Katagiri. Evaluation, unstable variable, monitor. Continuously. End of chapter 27. They isolated him to punish him. But in silence, he only got stronger. In chapter 28, the next game begins, and the version of Yuichi that walks out of that chamber isn't the same one who went in.